Chosen ones cannot date or be friends or have any type of relationship with people if these people are not on their level spiritually, energetically, or mentally. You see, you gotta understand, chosen ones. A lot of the times, we had people around us in the past seasons of our lives, where we had people around us that wasn't on our vibration, that wasn't on our level of existence, far as mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, even physically fit. They weren't even fit like us, and it was out of love. It was out of trying to help these people. It was out of try to encourage them and uplift these people. But you cannot be in a relationship nor have a friendship with anybody that's not on your level spiritually, simply because there's going to be an imbalance in the friendship or in a relationship. What I mean by an imbalance is that you are going to be giving all your good godly energy, your abundant energy, to people who are not on your level. They are more dense and more 3D. They don't think the way you do. They don't see the world the way you see it. They can't comprehend who you are and what you have going on. So you're gonna be drained by being even just in the presence of these people. So that's why it's important to pick your friend group, pick your lover, pick who, people who support you. Pick your support system, pick your friends, pick your spouse wisely, because if not, you are constantly going to be drained. You're constantly going to feel people's low vibrational energy. You're gonna feel you're gonna feel like off. You're not gonna feel yourself around these people. And that's why chosen ones have cut a lot of people off, man. We had to cut a lot of people off. We had to let a lot of people go because they didn't want to help themselves. They wanted to just continue to drain our good energy and our good vibes. And we not having that no more, bro. We not having anchors pulling us down when we trying to continuously go up. No, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Like, we all the way up around this mug. And people can't understand that. But I'm here to tell you, chosen ones, that it's not going to work. Like, if you are in friendships or in relationships or have a support system around you that ain't on your frequency, that ain't vibing high like you, there's constantly going to be arguments. There's constantly going to be misunderstandings. There's constantly going to be jealousy, envy, backstabbing, and just all types of bad energy and just low vibes, like low vibrations, and people just doing a bunch of weird stuff. So I'm just like, you got to find people, and I know it's not easy, especially finding people that's on your level spiritually, mentally, emotionally, energetically. It's not easy to find these people, but I rather sit alone, and I rather be in my own energy and continuously elevate, evolve, and my auric field get even bigger than to have people around me just to have around me, or just because I don't want to be alone, or I feel like I need a support system. Which, with far as chosen ones, we don't think that way. We know that we are abundant. We know that we are magnetic, and anything that we, if how we treat ourselves is going to reflect outwardly, and it's going to be magnetically attracted to us in the physical realm. So we know that we're going to eventually attract people that's on our level, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But I'm just here to say that when you dating somebody that's not spiritually on your level, it's never gonna work, because y'all always gonna clash heads. Y'all never gonna come into agreement with anything. Y'all never gonna be able to see eye to eye. One person is gonna be given more than the other person is given. There's not gonna be no type of reciprocation. There's not gonna be no type of recharge of your good and sacred rare energy. So I'm here to tell the chosen ones that, man, it's not worth being in relationships or having friendships with people that it's not it's not being reciprocated both the energy is not being reciprocated both ways. And if the energy is low vibrational, it's never gonna work. And I've just seen this all across this app, and just in life in general, like me passing by couples and groups of friends every day. Like you can tell what the future is going to be based off of what they doing and what their mindset is just from hearing them speak, or hearing them act, you know doing things in their normal lives. And a lot of people are surrounding themselves with people that aren't on their level spiritually, and or not on their level energetically, or not on their level physically, or not on their level mentally. None of those none of those criterias. People, what I've noticed is people value money, they value resources. They value a person with resources no matter what they look like, no matter what their energy is like, no matter what their mindset is, no matter what type of eerie and evil ulterior motives that they have for that person. They don't care about that. They just care about the person's resources. And I'm here to tell you, ain't no amount of resources that beneficial to you to where you are being drained in every aspect of your life just to be hanging around some people, man. That ain't it. And I've learned and I've noticed that chosen ones, a lot of people are afraid to be alone, and a lot of people are afraid of you cutting them off and not dealing with them no more. And a lot of times the chosen ones get gaslighted, they get threatened, they get people try to gang up on them, they try to peer pressure them into being cool with them and stuff like that. And chosen ones not really having that. And that's why I say, like, in this day and age, the reason why the dating world is so messed up, and the reason why friendships don't last, and the reason why people, family settings can't be properly like ran, and people, everybody in the family tree being cool with everybody, is because there's a lot of people not that are not operating at their fullest potential. They're not operating out of a space of love, out of a space of support, out of a space of being confident in themselves and their gifts, talents, and abilities and who they are. So that's why I don't feel the dating game is gonna get no better. That's why I feel like friendships ain't gonna get no better. That's why the family tree, that's why a lot of people's family tree, including mine, isn't gonna be better, is because people aren't trying to heal, they aren't actively healing, they don't want to heal, and they are not energetically, physically, mentally, or spiritually in alignment with who the chosen ones are. So that's why we have to let a lot of people go. That's why we have to separate ourselves. That's why most of the times we forcefully put ourselves in isolation, or we are put in isolation purposely to protect us, protect our life force energy, protect our essence, protect us physically, spiritually, mentally, energetically, physically, and to protect our assignment. So that's why I say, as a chosen one, you got to be very aware and very mindful and pay attention to your energy when you go into certain rooms, when you go into certain environments, when you dealing with certain people. Even when you doing business with people, you got to really fill out their energy. You got to really see where their mindset is. You got to really feel people out, like learn certain things about people. And if they meet the requirements for your life, then okay, cool. If you feel like the energy is going to be reciprocated, if you feel like people going to perform at your level, if you feel like people are going to hold the same standards in a relationship as you, then okay, that's a good investment. But we tend to not see people, places, and environments and relationships as we don't label it, or we don't see it as an investment. We and that's why we don't, most of the time make the right decisions on who we have in our lives. And that's simply why you have to be aware. You can't